How are you guys doing? Today is Monday, August 2nd, 2021. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite matchups and performances from yesterday, Sunday, August 1st. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that's going on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. Of course, getting started with the MLB because the MLB is the only big league that's in season right now before we get into the Olympics. Starting in the nation's capital, the Washington Nationals hosted the Chicago Cubs and were able to pull up a 6-5 walk-off win in the bottom of the ninth yesterday, thanks to a solo home run from Yadiel Hernandez. For the Chicago Cubs in this matchup, the start was given to Adbert Alzolay. He allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 4. The loss would end up going to the Cubs closer for the day, and it would go to Manuel Rodriguez. Rodriguez allowed 1 earned run without registering an out, and with this loss, he's 0-1 on the year. For the Cubs batting lineup, their center fielder, Rafael Ortega, would end up going 4 for 4 with 5 RBIs and 3 runs, as Ortega would hit his 4th, 5th, and 6th home runs of the season yesterday. He was the only player on the Cubs with more than 1 hit, actually. And for the Washington Nationals, the start was given to Erick Fedde. Fedde allowed 3 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 8. The win was given to the Washington Nationals closer for the day, Kyle Finnegan. Finnegan allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched, and with this win, he's 4-2 on the year. In the Nationals batting lineup, their first baseman, Josh Bell, would go 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Their left fielder, Yadiel Hernandez, would go 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 3rd and 4th home runs of the season yesterday. With this win, the Washington Nationals are now 49-56. That is the 4th best record in the National League East as they've won 4 of their last 10. They currently trailed the New York Mets by 6.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Chicago Cubs are now 51-56. That is the 4th best record in the National League Central. They've lost 6 of their last 10 as they currently trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 12.5 games in the division. Jumping out to Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates hosted their in-state rival, the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies were able to pull off a 15-4 win after scoring 12 of their 15 runs in the last 5 innings of the game. For the Pittsburgh Pirates in this matchup, the start and the loss was given to Mitch Keller. Mitch Keller allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, he's 3-8 on the year. In their batting lineup, their second baseman, Wilmer Difo, would end up going 2 for 4 with an RBI on the day. The only other player with more than 1 hit was the Pirates catcher on the day, Michael Perez. Perez went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 7th home run of the season. For the Philadelphia Phillies, the start and the win was given to Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson allowed 2 earned runs in 6.2 innings pitched as he struck out 5. With this win, Kyle Gibson is 7-3 on the year. In the Phillies' batting lineup, their second baseman, Jean Segura, will go 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. Their elite right fielder and former National League MVP, Bryce Harper, will go 3 for 4 with 3 runs. Their all-star catcher, JT Realmuto, will go 5 for 6 with 4 RBIs and 3 runs as he hit his 15th and 16th doubles of the season yesterday. Their third baseman, Alec Bohm, will go 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Their shortstop, Didi Gregorius, will go 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and a run. And their left fielder, Odubel Herrera, will go 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. With this win, the Philadelphia Phillies are now 52-53 as the team had a combined 20 hits on the day. That is the 2nd best record in the National League East as they've won 5 of their last 10. They currently trailed the New York Mets by 3.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Pittsburgh Pirates are now 40-65. That is the worst record in the National League Central. That is the 2nd worst record in the National League. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 22.5 games in the division. Jumping out to Toronto, the Toronto Blue Jays hosted the Kansas City Royals at home and were able to pull up a 5-1 win, scoring all 5 of their runs between the 3rd and 5th inning, scoring 3 of them in the 3rd. For the Kansas City Royals in this matchup, their only run came in the 9th inning, and their start and loss went to Brad Keller. Brad Keller would allow 3 earned runs in 3 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With his loss, he's 7-10 on the year. In the Royals batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their right fielder for the day, Edward Olivares. He would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 2nd home run of the season. For the Toronto Blue Jays, the start and the win went to Jose Barrios. He allowed no earned runs and only 5 hits in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With this win, Barrios is 8-5 with his first win in a Blue Jays uniform. In the Blue Jays batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit. Their all-star second baseman Marcus Semien would go 1-for-4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 25th home run of the season. With this win, the Toronto Blue Jays are now 54-48. That is the 4th best record in the American League East. They've won their last 4 games, and they've won 6 of their last 10. At the moment, they trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 8 games in the division, and they trail the Oakland Athletics by 3.5 games in the wild card race alongside the Seattle Mariners. With this loss, the Kansas City Royals are now 45-59. That is the 4th best record in the American League Central. That is the 4th worst record in the American League. They've lost their last 3 games, and they've lost 4 of their last 10. At the moment, they trail the Chicago White Sox by 16 games in the division. Jumping out to Detroit, the Detroit Tigers hosted the Baltimore Orioles and pulled off a 6-2 home win, scoring 3 of their 6 runs in the first inning alongside the Orioles, and they were able to run away with the win after that. For the Orioles, the start in the loss was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Spencer Watkins. Watkins allowed 4 earned runs in 5.2 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With this loss, he's 2-2 on the year. In the Orioles batting lineup, their designated hitter, Ryan Mountcastle, will go 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run. The right fielder, Anthony Santander, would go 2-for-4 with an RBI. For the Detroit Tigers, the start was given to Tyler Alexander. Alexander would allow 2 earned runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 2. The win was given to the Tigers' first relief pitcher on the day, Erasmo Rodriguez. He would allow no earned runs in 2 innings pitched as he struck out a batter. With this win, he's 1-0 on the year. In the Tigers batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their third baseman, Jeimer Candelario. He went 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run. With this win, the Detroit Tigers are now 51-57. That is the 3rd best record in the American League Central. They've won 4 of their last 10 games as they now trail the Chicago White Sox by 12 games in the division. With this loss, the Baltimore Orioles are now 37-67. That is the worst record in the American League East, and that is currently the worst record in the American League, as the only team with the worst record than them at the moment are the Arizona Diamondbacks. Really quickly, looking out to how the Orioles are faring, they've lost 4 of their last 10 games as they currently trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 26 games in the division at the moment, to give a sense of what the gap in the American League is right now. Jumping out to New York, out to Queens, the New York Mets hosted the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds would pull off a 7-1 road win to pick up win number 56 of the season. For the New York Mets, the start and the loss went to Marcus Stroman out of Duke. He allowed 4 earned runs in 5.2 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With his loss, he's 7-10 on the year. In the Mets batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit as Jeff McNeil went 1-for-4 with an RBI and a home run, as well as hitting his 6th home run of the season. That was the only run of the day scored by the Mets. And for the Cincinnati Reds, on the other hand, the start and the win was given to Vladimir Gutierrez. He allowed 1 earned run in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 4. With his win, he's 6-3 on the year. In the Reds batting lineup, their first baseman for the day, Max Schrock, would end up going 5-for-5 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs on the day. He would hit his 2nd home run of the year. And the only other player with more than 1 hit was their center fielder, Tyler Naquin. Naquin went 2-for-3 with 2 RBIs. And with this win, the Cincinnati Reds are now 56-50. That is the 2nd best record in the National League Central as they've won 7 of their last 10 games. They currently trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 7 games in the division, and they trail the San Diego Padres by 4 games for the 2nd wildcard spot at the moment, as the Reds are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the New York Mets are now 55-49. That is the best record in the National League East as they've lost 6 of their last 10. They currently sit 3.5 games ahead of the 2nd-place Philadelphia Phillies in the division, as the Mets are holding on to the 3rd seed in the National League, sitting behind the Brewers out in the Central and the San Francisco Giants from the West. Jumping out to Miami, the Miami Marlins hosted the New York Yankees in this interleague matchup. And after the Miami Marlins scored their only run in the first inning, the Yankees would score 2 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th to pick up their 3-1 win and run away with it. For the Miami Marlins in this matchup, the start went to Sandy Alcantara. He allowed no earned runs and 2 hits in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 10. The loss for Miami would end up going to their first relief pitcher in this matchup, who in this matchup was Anthony Bass, pun not intended. He allowed 2 runs in .1 inning pitch as he struck out a batter, and with this loss, he's 1-6 on the year. In the Marlins batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, and that can be attributed to great pitching from New York. For the Yankees, the start went to Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery allowed 1 earned run in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 5. The win went to the Yankees' second relief pitcher on the day, Joely Rodriguez. He allowed no earned runs in .1 inning pitched, and with his win, he's 2-3 on the year. Save number 22 for the Yankees would go to Aroldis Chapman as he allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch and strike as he struck out 2. That'll be his 22nd save of the season. The only player on the Yankees with more than 1 hit was their elite right fielder, Aaron Judge. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI. With this win, the New York Yankees are now 56-48. That is the 3rd best record in the American League East. They've won their last 3 games. They've won 7 of their last 10. They currently trail the Tampa Bay Rays by 7 games in the division, and they currently trail the Oakland Athletics for that second American League wildcard spot by 2.5 games, as the New York Yankees are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Miami Marlins are now 44-61. That is the worst record in the National League East and the 3rd worst record in the National League. They've lost their last 4 games. They've lost 6 of their last 10, and they currently trail the New York Mets by 11.5 games in the division at the moment. Jumping out to Atlanta, the reigning National League East champs hosted the current National League Central leading Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers were able to pull up a 2-1 win on the road as they only finished with 3 hits on the day. For the Atlanta Braves, the start and the loss went to Charlie Morton. He allowed 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 6. With this loss, Charlie Morton is 10-4 on the season. In the Braves batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their 3rd baseman, Austin Riley, as he went 2 for 4 with the team's only RBI on the day. For the Milwaukee Brewers, the start and the win went to Brett Anderson. Brett Anderson would go on to allow 1 earned run in 5.2 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this win, Anderson is 4-5 on the year. And then the save for Milwaukee will go to their elite closer, Josh Hader. He allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched as he struck out 2. He would pick up his 22nd save of the season, and in the Brewers batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit. Their shortstop, Willy Adames, went 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 18th home run of the season. With this win, the Milwaukee Brewers are now 63-43. That is the best record in the National League Central. They've won 7 of their last 10 games. They sit 7 games ahead of the second-place Cincinnati Reds in their division, and they are holding on to the 2nd seed in the National League, sitting behind the San Francisco Giants out west and sitting ahead of the New York Mets out east. With this loss, the Atlanta Braves are now 52-54. That is the 3rd best record in the National League East. They've lost 5 of their last 10 games, and they currently trail the New York Mets by 4 games in the division. Jumping out to Chicago, the Chicago White Sox hosted the 2nd-place Cleveland Indians in their division, and the White Sox were able to walk this game off in the 9th inning thanks to a solo home run from Brian Goodwin. For the Cleveland Indians in this matchup, the start was given to Cal Quantrill. He allowed 1 run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 6. The loss for the Indians would go to their closer for the day, Nick Whitgren. Whitgren allowed 1 earned run in 1.1 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, Whitgren is 2-4 on the year. In their batting lineup, the only player for the Indians with more than 1 hit was their shortstop, Ahmed Rosario, as he went 2 for 4. For the Chicago White Sox, on the other hand, the start was given to Jimmy Lambert. Jimmy Lambert allowed 1 earned run in 3 innings pitched as he struck out 2. The win would go to the White Sox elite closer for the day, Liam Hendriks. Liam Hendriks allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched as he struck out 2. With this win, Liam Hendriks is 5-2 on the year. And in the White Sox batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit. Their right fielder, Brian Goodwin, would go 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. That was his 6th home run of the season. With this win, the Chicago White Sox are now 62-44. That is the best record in the American League Central. They've won 4 of their last 10 games as they sit 9 games ahead of the 2nd-place Cleveland Indians in their division. At the moment, they're holding on to the 3rd seed in the American League as they currently trail the Tampa Bay Rays and the Houston Astros, who are currently tied for the best record in the American League. And with this loss, the Cleveland Indians are now 51-51. That is the 2nd best record in the American League Central as they've lost 6 of their last 10 games. They now trail the Chicago White Sox by 9 games in the division. Jumping out to St. Louis, the St. Louis Cardinals hosted the Minnesota Twins, and the Cardinals were able to pull off a 7-3 home win against Minnesota after Minnesota scored the first 2 runs of the game in the second inning. For the Minnesota Twins, the start and the loss was given to Michael Pineda. Michael Pineda would allow 3 runs in 4 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this loss, he's 4-6 on the season. In their batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, as their second baseman Jorge Polanco would go 1-for-4 with an RBI and a run. Polanco would hit his 16th home run of the season. For the St. Louis Cardinals, the start and the win went to Adam Wainwright. He allowed 3 earned runs in 7 innings pitched as he struck out 5. With this win, Adam Wainwright is 9-6 on the season. In the Cardinals batting lineup, their right fielder Dylan Carlson would go 3-for-5 with an RBI and a run. Their future Hall of Fame catcher, Yadier Molina, will go 2-for-4. Their second baseman, Tommy Edman, will go 2-for-4 with 2 runs. And their shortstop, Edmundo Sosa, will go 3-for-3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Sosa would hit his 3rd home run of the year. And with this win, the St. Louis Cardinals are now 53-52. That is the 3rd best record in the National League Central, as they've won 6 of their last 10 games. And at the moment, they trail the Milwaukee Brewers by 9.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Minnesota Twins are now 44-62. That is the worst record in the American League Central, as they are holding on to the worst record in the AL Central, the 3rd worst record in the American League. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games, and they currently trail the Chicago White Sox by 18 games in the division. Jumping out to Dallas, the Texas Rangers hosted the Seattle Mariners, and the Rangers were able to pull off a 4-3 win at home. They would walk this game off with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, ending with a solo home run from Jonah Heim after Andy Ibanez's 2-run home run would tie the game in the bottom of the 9th. For the Seattle Mariners, the start was given to Marco Gonzalez. He allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 4. The loss was given to the Seattle Mariners closer for the day, Eric Swanson. Swanson allowed 3 earned runs without registering a single out. He allowed 2 home runs. This will be his first blown save of the season, and with this loss, Swanson is 0-1 on the year. In the Mariners batting lineup, their second baseman, Abraham Toro, would end up going 3-for-4 with a run. The only other player on the team with more than 1 hit was their right fielder, Jake Bauers. Jake Bauers would end up going 2-for-4 with an RBI for Seattle. And for the Texas Rangers, the start was given to Mike Foltynewicz. He allowed 2 earned runs in 5 innings pitched, striking out a batter. The win went to the Rangers closer, Dennis Santana. Santana allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched, and with this win, he's 1-1 on the year. In the Rangers batting lineup, their third baseman, Charlie Culberson, would go 3-for-4. Their second baseman for the day, Andy Ibanez, would end up going 2-for-4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 3rd home run of the year. And their designated hitter, Jonah Heim, would go 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run as his game-winning walk-off home run would be his 8th of the season. With this win, the Texas Rangers are now 38-67. That is the worst record in the American League West and the 2nd worst record in the American League. They've won their last 2 games, and they've won 3 of their last 10, as they now trail the Houston Astros by 25.5 games in the division. With this loss, the Seattle Mariners are now 56-50. That is the 3rd best record in the American League West, as they've lost their last 2 games and they've lost 5 of their last 10. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 8 games in the division, and they are holding on, and they are trailing the Oakland Athletics for the 2nd American League wildcard spot by 3.5 games alongside the Toronto Blue Jays, to give a sense of where the Mariners sit. Jumping out to San Francisco, the National League West leading San Francisco Giants hosted the American League West leading Houston Astros. And in this matchup, the Giants will pull off the 5-3 win at home. For the Astros in this matchup, the start and the loss was given to Luis Garcia. Garcia allowed 5 earned runs in 4.2 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With this loss, Garcia is 7-6 on the season. In the Astros batting lineup, their first baseman, Yuli Gurriel, will go 3-for-4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 12th home run of the season. Their center fielder, Chas McCormick, will be the only player on the team with more than 1 hit as he went 2-for-4. For the San Francisco Giants, the start and the win was given to Logan Webb. Logan Webb would allow 2 earned runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this win, Webb is 5-3 on the year. The save was given to the Giants closer, Jake McGee. Jake McGee would allow no earned runs in 1 inning pitched as he struck out a batter. With this save, he now has 23 saves on the year. In the Giants batting lineup, their second baseman, their shortstop, Brandon Crawford, will go 2-for-4 with an RBI and a run. Their first baseman, Darren Ruff, will go 3-for-4 with 3 RBIs and a run. And their second baseman, Donovan Solano, will go 2-for-4. Those are the players with more than one hit. And their newest elite third baseman, Chris Bryant, will go 1-for-4 with an RBI and a run in his San Francisco Giants debut, hitting his 19th home run of the year. With this win, the San Francisco Giants are now 66-39. That is the best record in the National League West, as they've won their last 2 games and they've won 6 of their last 10. They currently sit 3 games ahead of the second place Los Angeles Dodgers in their division, as they're holding on to the top seed in the National League, as they sit ahead of the second place Milwaukee Brewers from the Central and the third place New York Mets from the East. With this loss, the Houston Astros are now 64-42. That is the best record in the American League West, and they are tied with the Tampa Bay Rays for the best record in the American League. The Astros have lost their last 2 games, and they've lost 4 of their last 10. They currently still sit 4.5 games ahead of the second place Oakland Athletics in their division, and they are tied with the Tampa Bay Rays for the best record in the American League, as the Chicago White Sox are sitting in sole third place for the American League playoff picture at the moment. Jumping out to Anaheim, the Los Angeles Angels hosted the Oakland Athletics, and the Athletics were able to pull up an 8-3 road win after scoring 5 of their 8 runs in the third inning off of a 3-run home run from Matt Olson and a 2-run home run from Yan Gomes. For the Los Angeles Angels in this outing, the start and the loss was given to their starting pitcher for the day, Reed Detmers. Detmers allowed 6 earned runs in 4.1 innings pitched as he struck out 2. With this loss, Reed Detmers is 0-1 on the year. In the Angels batting lineup, their catcher, Max Stassi, will go 2-for-4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 10th home run of the season. He was the only player on the Angels with more than 1 hit. For the Oakland Athletics, the start and the win was given to their starting pitcher, Dalton Jeffries. Jeffries allowed 3 earned runs in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 3. With this win, Jeffries is 1-0 on the season. In the A's batting lineup, their newest center fielder, Starling Marte, will go 3-for-4 with 2 runs. Their designated hitter, Jed Lowry, will go 2-for-5 with 2 RBIs and a run. And then their newest catcher, Yan Gomes, would end up going 2-for-5 with 3 RBIs and a run. Gomes would hit his 10th home run of the season. With this win, the Oakland Athletics are now 60-47. That is the second best record in the American League West, as they've won 5 of their last 10 games. They currently trail the Houston Astros by 4.5 games in the division, and they are currently holding on to the second American League wildcard spot, sitting 3 games behind the first place Boston Red Sox, and they sit 2.5 games ahead of the New York Yankees, who are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Los Angeles Angels are now 52-53. That is the 4th best record in the American League West. They've lost 5 of their last 10 games, and they currently trail the Houston Astros by 11.5 games in the division. Jumping out to Phoenix, the Arizona Diamondbacks hosted the defending World Series champs, and the Dodgers were able to shut out the Diamondbacks, winning 13-0, holding the Diamondbacks to only 4 hits all game. For the Diamondbacks, the start and the loss were given to their starting pitcher, Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith allowed 5 earned runs in 1.2 innings pitched, striking out 3. With this loss, he's 3-8 on the year. In the Diamondbacks batting lineup, nobody on the team would finish with more than 1 hit, and that can be attributed to great pitching from the Dodgers. For the Dodgers, the start and the win went to Julio Urias, who allowed no earned runs and only 4 hits in 5 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With this win, Urias is 13-3 on the year. In the Dodgers batting lineup, their elite second baseman, Mookie Betts, would end up going 2-for-5 with an RBI and 2 runs as he hit his 15th home run of the year. Their all-star center fielder, Chris Taylor, would go 2-for-4 with an RBI and 2 runs. Their all-star third baseman, Justin Turner, would go 2-for-5 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs as he hit his 20th home run of the season. Their left fielder, A.J. Pollock, would go 4-for-5 with 2 RBIs and a run for himself. And with this win, the Los Angeles Dodgers are now 64-43. That is the second best record in the National League West, and that's actually the second best record in the National League. They've won their last 2 games, and they've won 5 of their last 10. They currently sit 3 games behind the first place San Francisco Giants in their division, and they're holding on to the number 1 the number 1 spot in the National League wild card race, sitting 3.5 games ahead of the second place San Diego Padres in said race. With this loss, the Arizona Diamondbacks are now 33-73. That is the worst record in the National League, and that's the worst record in all of baseball at the moment. To give a sense, or with this loss, they've now lost their last 2 games. They've lost 5 of their last 10. and they now trail the San Francisco Giants by 33.5 games in the division to give a sense of what the gap between the best and the worst teams in the MLB are. And jumping out to San Diego, the San Diego Padres hosted the Colorado Rockies, and the Padres were able to pull off an 8-1 almost shutout win at home. For the Rockies in this matchup, the start and the loss went to Austin Gomber. He allowed 4 earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out 3. With this loss, Austin Gomber is 8-6 on the year. In the Rockies batting lineup, their center fielder in this matchup, Sam Hilliard, would go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. He was the only player on the Rockies with more than 1 hit. He would hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday. For the San Diego Padres, the start was given to Reese Nair. Reese Nair would only pitch 3 innings as he allowed 1 earned run and struck out 2. The win for the San Diego Padres was given to their first relief pitcher, Craig Stammen. Stammen allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitched, and with this win, he's 5-2 on the year. In the Padres batting lineup, their first baseman, Jake Cronenworth, would go 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. He, alongside Ha-Sung Kim, would be the only 2 players with more than 1 hit. Their shortstop, Ha-Sung Kim, would go 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a run as he hit his 6th home run of the season. With this win, the San Diego Padres are now 61-47. That is the 3rd best record in the National League West. They've won 5 of their last 10 games as they now trail the San Francisco Giants by 6.5 games in the division. They are holding on to the 2nd best record in the National League wildcard race as they sit 3.5 games behind the defending champs LA Dodgers. They sit 4 games ahead of the Cincinnati Reds, who are the first team on the outside looking in. With this loss, the Colorado Rockies are now 46-60. That is the 4th best record in the National League West. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games as they now trail the San Francisco Giants by 20.5 games in the division. Last but not least, jumping out to Tampa Bay, the Tampa Bay Rays were able to beat the Boston Red Sox 3-2 in order to hold their AL East lead. For the Boston Red Sox in this matchup, the start and the loss went to Nick Pivetta. Pivetta allowed 3 earned runs in 4.2 innings pitched as he struck out 6. With this loss, he's 8-5 on the year. In the Red Sox batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their all-star third baseman, Rafael Devers. He went 2 for 4. For the Tampa Bay Rays in this matchup, the start and the win went to their starting pitcher, Shane McClanahan. Shane McClanahan would allow 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 7. With this win, he's 5-4. And the save for the Rays would end up going to their closer for the day, Matt Wisler. Matt Wisler allowed no earned runs in 1 inning pitch as he struck out a batter. That's his first save of the year. In the Rays batting lineup, the only player with more than 1 hit was their elite young shortstop, Wander Franco, as he went 2 for 3 with a run. With this win, the Tampa Bay Rays are now 64-42. That is the best record in the American League East. They've won their last 4 games, and they've won 7 of their last 10. They sit 1.5 games ahead of the second-place Boston Red Sox, as the Rays are now tied with the Houston Astros for the best record in the American League, holding on to that number 1 spot as they both sit ahead of the third-place Chicago White Sox. With this loss, the Boston Red Sox are now 63-44. That is the 2nd best record in the American League East as they've lost their last 4 games. They've lost 6 of their last 10. They now sit 1.5 games behind the reigning American League champs, the Tampa Bay Rays, as they are holding on to the top American League wildcard spot, sitting 3 games ahead of the second-place Oakland Athletics. Right now, that is what baseball is looking like following yesterday's matchups. And then really briefly looking at what's been going on with soccer. The United States was able to win the CONCACAF Gold Cup versus Mexico in the 117th minute thanks to a header from their defender from Atlanta United, Miles Robinson. So, of course, that's another trophy in the trophy case for Team USA. And quickly looking at what's been going on, especially with the Olympic 2021 medal count from the 9th day of competing. Starting off in badminton, the women's singles gold medal went to Yu Fei Chan of China. Going out to cycling, the BMX Freestyle Men's Park Challenge, the gold medal in that went to Logan Martin of Australia. The gold medal for the BMX Women's Freestyle event went to Charlotte Worthington of Great Britain. Looking out to diving and women's 3-meter springboard, the gold medal went to Ting Mao Shi of China. In fencing, the gold medal for men's team foil went to France as they were able to beat the Russian Olympic Committee in the final match. In golf, for men's stroke play, the gold will go to Xander Schauffele of the United States. In gymnastics, the men's floor exercise gold medal went to Artem Dolgopyat of Israel. The men's pommel horse gold went to Max Whitlock of Great Britain. In women's uneven bars, the gold medal went to Nina Derweil of Belgium. In women's vault, the gold medal went to Rebecca Andrade of Brazil. In sailing, the men's one-person dinghy laser gold medal went to Matt Wern of Australia. The women's one-person dinghy laser radial went to Anne-Marie Rindam of Denmark. Looking at the swimming events, in the men's 1500 meter, the gold medal went to Robert Fink of the United States. In the men's 4x100 medley relay, the gold medal would go to the United States as well. Looking at what happened in the men's 50-meter freestyle, the gold medal will go to Caleb Dressel. Of course, another gold medal for him. In the women's 4x100 meter relay, the gold medal went to Australia. In the women's 50-meter freestyle, the gold medal went to Emma McKen, who's also having as phenomenal as an Olympics as Caleb Dressel is in her own right. And the tennis men's singles event, the gold medal went to Alexander Zverev of Germany as he beat Karen Khachanov of the Russian Olympic Committee for the gold medal match. In the women's doubles, the Czech Republic was able to take gold as they beat the Swiss team in the gold medal match. Looking at the track and field events, the gold in the men's 100-meter dash went to Lamont Marcel Jacobs of Italy. In the men's high jump, the gold medal was split between Gianmarco Tamberi of Italy and Mutaz Essa Barshim of Qatar as they both jumped about 7'7". In the women's triple jump, the gold medal went to Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela as she easily was able to take that one. In the women's shot put event, the gold medal went to Liu Xiao Gong of China. In weightlifting in women's 76 kilograms, the gold medal went to Nacy Dejomes of Colombia. With that said, that is what the world of sports is looking like as we navigate into today's events. Once again, today is Monday, August 2nd, 2021. I want to thank the MLB, ESPN, and Bleacher Report websites for the facts and figures that I need in order to do this episode. And of course, I want to thank everyone for listening to all 32 minutes. I hope all is well, and when all is done, I will come back tomorrow, Tuesday, August 3rd, for another episode of The Elite. So until then, thanks for listening to my piece. I hope all is well, and I'll catch you tomorrow with another piece. Peace out.